Alrighty, good day guys, and welcome back to another APA Little Cup video on the channel. And today we are up against, who used to be one of the goons, Obo29 in his Seattle Sandstorm. And I don't even remember his record this season. He's doing alright. Not as good as his team would suggest you'd think he'd do, but he's not down the bottom of the pack by any means. Getting into his team real quick, you can obviously see the six that he brought up on the screen there. He's got the Vulpix Bulbasaur Suncore with Archon, Stunky, Manfu, Igglybuff, and then he's got a few weird things that he left at home, like things that I really didn't expect to come, something like the Nincada, the Vanillite, what else has he got? And a couple other ones that I was just sort of like, yeah, don't really see those coming. So, going into prep, I sort of narrowed it down to these two. Well, the 5 minus the Igglybuff I knew were coming versus me because I had a great matchup, and his other stuff really didn't have the best matchup. Sun plus Mienfoo plus Stunky is very scary to prep for. Look at my team, and then remember Stunky gets Flamethrower, and then try and find me a check, because my check is probably Tirtouga. But then look at his team and look at Tirtouga, and that actually runs his team. So it's kind of scary. I also don't really have a check to Bulbasaur because like Hidden Power Fire in the Sun still does so much to pawn out. Drowsy couldn't really come because after growth, a knockoff just blew me away. Yeah, so it was kind of rough. So getting into the team this week, we are going to start with little buddy Goodnight, the Crabrawler. He's rocking the Choice Scarf this week with Close Combat, Stone Edge, Zen, Headbutt, and Earthquake. And looking at his team, and then remembering the couple of mons that I mentioned, the other two on his roster are not important. Let's just pretend those don't exist because I can't remember them. And look at his Close Combat switch in, and it is Igglybuff, which actually is part normal now that I think about it, so that's not a resist. And yeah, his resist is Bulbasaur. And any damage on Bulbasaur this week is phenomenal for me, because if that thing wastes a Sun turn recovering or doing something like that, then that means it can't really get up a growth, because then it's got hardly any Sun turns left, at which I've got plenty of things that I can outspeed, or he's not going to be able to claim as many kills, and I've got ways to revenge that. So yeah, then we got Stone Edge, then Headbutt, and Earthquake there for a bit of coverage. If the Archon is down, then Earthquake's extremely free. He doesn't have a resist to that. If the Mienfoo is down or low, then Stone Edge is very free. And then we got Zen Headbutt there if the Stunky is down. Yeah, so there's not too much to this set. He did have a fair few mons that could hit base 17, like the Mienfoo, the Vulpix, the Archon. They are all could hit that speed. I expected a Scarf Archon. Scarf Mienfoo or Bulky Mienfoo is probably something that'll come. Probably more, a Heat Rock Vulpix probably, and like a bulkier Stunky to be able to click a few buttons. Yeah, so that was our Crabrawler this week. Moving on, our next mon is going to be Rosie the Slugma. Rosie's been putting in the finest of work this season. And this week we're rocking a more defensive set. This is meant to take on that Bulbasaur. We are Eviolite with some sort of mixed defenses. We go hitting a rock-friendly number of HP at 23, 14 Spadef because I expect Bulbasaur to be mainly specially offensive, and then hitting that 12 defense just to be able to check things. Just be able to take hits from things that otherwise we might not be able to. Something like a Stunky hit, or maybe one Mienfoo hit to try and get that Flame Body, which we are rocking this week. Lava Plume, Earth Power, Memento, and Recover. Lava Plume hits very hard in the Sun. His resist is a Vulpix. Earth Power bops that Vulpix. And Memento to be able to get into a couple of our setup mons that you're going to see in a little bit here. We've seen Life Orb Flame Charge Rosie do a fair bit this season, so it's now time for a different set to get a bit of the limelight. Next mon, Doduo. We're rocking the Agility Focus Sash set this week. I'm going to attempt to not let him get rocks up with Archon because, especially if it's a Scarf Archon, him locking into rocks could be very bad. If he doesn't get rocks up with Archon, then my Sash will stay intact. His priority is Stunky and fake out Mianfu. If Stunky's gone, and Mianfu hasn't got a fake out, then I can set up an agility, outspeed everything, including stuff in the sun, and then just proceed to click drill peck or jump kick. We're rocking drill peck because Brave Bird with focus sash makes 0 sense. And yeah, his flying resist is an Archon. And if that thing is scarfed like I expect it to be, jump kick takes it into defeatist range, and then it's not really doing anything. Next up we have Crush here. We're rocking the physical one this week, physical Shell Smash Tirtouga with Berry Juice and Sturdy, which I remembered. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, I forgot Sturdy, and we were running, what was it go? I think it's solid. Yeah, we were running Solid Rock. Yeah, not a good idea. So this set is built to outspeed anything that is not going to be, well, any scarfers that I can't bop with Aqua Jet at +2. So something like it doesn't outspeed a Scarf Archon, and it doesn't outspeed a Scarf Mianfu. Scarf Archon, Aqua Jet just blows that thing away at +2. Scarf Mianfu, we actually can't outspeed that. So yeah, we're running Adamant here, Shell Smash, Waterfall, Rock Slide, Aqua Jet. Waterfall, Dual Stabs was all I really needed here. Didn't really have a resist. I mean, Bulbasaur, but that thing's at +2, going to be taking a lot of damage. And yeah, then the priority for some of his Scarfers or his other priority mons, like the Stunky. And that's about it. It's a pretty simple set. Moving on, Unsheathed, coming again this week. Yes, he does have probably the best Pawniard counter in the game, but I'm still bringing him anyway. We're rocking with the Rock Polish set with the Eviolite, Rock Polish knockoff, Iron Head, and Aerial Ace. We are running Timid this week because after a Rock Polish, we outspeed that Bulbasaur, and this is the second setup mon that I was mentioning when I was talking about our Slugma there, going for Memento. So yeah, it was once we get Rock Polish up, then Dual Stabs plus Aerial Ace does a lot to his team. Stunky Stunky's the thing we really don't hit super well, but I mean, a max attack Jolly Iron Head still does a lot, and that thing doesn't get recovery, so I'm hoping to whittle it down a little more. This Pawniard's more to break for the likes of Doduo or Tirtouga to come in later. And then we have our Mianfu check here in Sandygast. We're going Colbur Berry this week with Water Compaction, Shore Up, Stealth Rock, Earth Power, and Ancient Power. Max HP, max Fizz Def, the rest thrown into Speed Def. This set ensures that we don't get too KO'd by knockoff into knockoff from that Mianfu. We can obviously chew any other hit it goes for. And then Earth Power does a whole lot to pretty much his whole team, minus the Archon, which we have Ancient Power for. Setting up rocks, will be nice for the likes of Archon and Vulpix. And yeah, that's pretty much the team. Alrighty, getting into the battle here, guys. We are getting challenged by Owen and his trainer Obo. I don't know why the Vulpix is not on the roster. There we go. Some live editing here. One day I will have a battle for you that doesn't involve that. He leads with his Archon. I lead with my Sandygast. I'm going to click Ancient Power here on the off chance that he decides to click some move that isn't U-turn. But the fact he goes for U-turn and we see Jolly damage there leads me to believe that he's Scarf, because there are so many mons that I have that hit 17 speed tier that I don't think he can risk speed tying with them. He goes into the Mozilla here, which is a really weird play because, I get he wants to set Sun. Ancient Power comes out and does half to this thing. I'm going to switch out here because a Solar Beam does a whole bunch to me. I'm going to go into Rosie as he goes for the Flamethrower, which I guess is a no drawback play. He probably expects me to be Phys Def, not Spadef, for his physical threats. It doesn't do much to Rosie. He misses a Toxic, which is rather unfortunate. I go for the Lava Plume, expecting a switch, as he decides to stay in, and he's going to stay in again as I go for Lava Plume. No reason to go to for Earth Power here and allow a free Archon. This kills the Vulpix. And this is really weird to me. This is a play I don't understand, because the Sun is so good against me. My team is all about speed control, and Sun is one of the few things that I can't really combat. As he now goes into the Dumpling, he goes for Sludge Bomb. I'm going to click Recover here because this never two-shots me. And I don't think he risks going for Growth there. So he now goes for the Sludge Bomb. The Sun fades, and that's Sun gone for the battle. And once again, Vulpix is... I'll remember to take all the mons off later. He switches out, goes into his Archon, as I go for Recover. Again, a play that really doesn't make sense, because Lava Plume burn is like 30% chance. If he gets a burnt Archon, then that's useless for the rest of the battle, unless he's got like Healbell Igglybuff. I go into Motorhead again, predicting another U-turn, or a Stone Edge. Either way, it's great for me. He goes for another U-turn, gets on out of here. And he'll go back into the Bulbasaur, which I have a guaranteed switch into in my Slugma, which is now at full thanks to Rosie being a nice fat little girl this week and recovering. He goes for the Growth, and I'm like, okay, this means you might be able to two-shot me. I'm going to go for a Lava Plume. It's a roll kind of heavily in my favor from memory. I think it's like 70% to kill here, or like 60% chance to kill. I'm not sure. Go for the Lava Plume, hoping to pick up this Mon. I see that HP bar drop nice and fast, and he lives. And this is going to be a bit of the story of the match. His Mon's living on 1. He also got the... That was just not a good turn for me. Gets the Sludge Bomb Poison, which means it's guaranteed to kill now. Before it would have been a roll. Knowing my luck, I would have lost the roll though. So Slugma goes down as he lives, and I go into my boy Campion 1932 to click the Drill Peck and claim this thing. Unless I got the absolute min roll, then we killed. I go for the Drill Peck here on the Archon, and I'm like, this thing is scarfed. I know that this is scarfed the way he brought it in, because I naturally outspeed. I'm going to go for the Protect to scout what he's going to lock himself into. He goes for Stone Edge. That's phenomenal for me. This is the freest Pawniard of my life. This thing cannot touch me, and this is the free Rock Polish. He goes for a Stone Edge. He misses. That's alright. That would have done like 2.5%. Not even. As he switches into Nug, which again is it's a play that I don't really agree with, because why are you switching in your Fairy type on my Steel type when something like a Flamethrower Stunky would have been a much better check in my opinion? And I go for the Iron Head, and he lives on 1 again. Goes for the Thunder Wave, paralyzes my Pawniard. I'm like, alright, unless you're carrying Hidden Power Fighting, which wouldn't make sense. I'm just going to click Rock Polish again. I'm pretty sure HP Fighting actually doesn't even KO me, because this thing is so weak. He goes for the Perish Song, and this is just weird. A weird set to me. I feel like he had better ways of countering this Pawniard. It was designed to break, not sweep, for that reason, that he had some counters to it. And so I pick him off with an Iron Head here, as he gets the Cute Charm. So this Igglybuff is really rather annoying me at this point, because it has not only lived on 1, or 2, or whatever it was, he's now gotten the Cute Charm, and he has a male Mienfoo in the back. And I had Aerial Ace for this thing to break it down, put it in Aqua Jet range, and we're fine and dandy. And especially the fact that he clicked U-turn there. If I clicked Aerial Ace, then he just gives me a Mon after that. Like he picks a sack. He goes back into Dumpling. I'm here with Motorhead, and I'm like, well, Motorhead's done his job. That looks like a Scarf Mienfoo from the way he's playing it, so I don't mind letting him go for Giga Drain here, hoping that he'll overpredict. But where's Sandygast going? There we go. Sandygast goes down. I go into Doduo here. I get another free Drill Peck as he goes into Rural Street, his Stunky. And I go for a drill peck, as I just said, and it does about 35-40%. I'm like, okay, that means he can't switch his thing again. I'm going to go into good night. And he goes for the sucker punch, as I predicted. And I'm going to click close combat here because his resist is a Bulbasaur with no berry juice left. And that thing lives on 1 again. And it's like Owen brought like focus band on every mon here. And because of the defense drop from close combat, a sludge bomb into a sucker punch. I'm not sure of his set. If he's like a max special attack set, then that was a roll to kill with sucker punch, but I didn't calc. I was just clicking CC because that's what this mon does. He goes for a sucker punch here on my Pawniard as I decide to go with a knockoff. It kills the Stunky. That's a very big problem gone for me. As you can see, it's now 3 vs 3. He goes into the Mienfoo. I'm like, okay, this is probably scarfed. He goes for a high jump kick. Pawniard's done its job at this point. It's paralyzed. I need to set up 2 rock polishers to outspeed anything that's left. It's not happening. I thought, off chance that he misses a high jump kick, then I can kill. But I go into Crush here. And he's going to go for a high jump kick because he's locked in. Well, this is what I think at this point. It's going to take me to 30, which I did remember this week. It's going to pop my juice. It's going to bring me all the way back up to full as I click Shell Smash. And now I think that this is a Scarf Mienfoo, but I'm not sure. If it's Scarf, then my play is to click Aqua Jet here and hope for the best. If it's not, then an Aqua Jet into a Waterfall is probably going to lose me this game. So I go for the Waterfall. He brings me to Sturdy, knowing that one of those into an Aqua Jet always KOs this mon. He drops, which, well, the fact that he went first proves that he is Scarf. He now goes into this thing, which is clearly Scarf. We know this. And I reveal the Aqua Jet. And it goes down. And at this point, the game is over because, well, Archon is dead. I have, even if I miss my Rock Slide, which, knowing my luck, this game probably would have happened. But in fact, Tirtouga is going to claim the Bulbasaur. If I miss that, then I had my Doduo in the back to click Drill Peck and just win the game. So yeah, that was the battle against Obo. That's our week 6 match, I think. Yeah, week 6. Week 6 or 7. I can't remember what we are. I think it's... No, it's week 7. Yeah, it's week 7. We played week 6 last week. So that is our week 7 battle. We are now 5-3. We're looking very nice this season. Next week, though, is going to be a really tough battle for us. We are up against one of our good buddies, Ogle, a fellow goon in Ogle. God, I cannot speak today. And he is 7-0 or 6-0. Think 6 and 7 and he hasn't lost. However many weeks before this, he hasn't lost. And that's going to be really tough for us because his team is rather scary. His battling ability is quite high. And my matchup is kind of 50-50. So that's probably going to be the battle of the season. If you want to check back here next Monday, yes, everyone else says their battles go up on Sunday, but I'm Aussie, time zones, yay, it's a Monday. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling on now. It has been a solid, 15 minutes of you listening to me talk. That's more than anyone should have to go through during a day. But until next time, guys, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.